Welcome to the Popcorn Wine Down with Tammy and Eddie. Grab your popcorn, pour yourself a glass of wine, and come hang out with us as we discuss the latest in movies, TV, and music.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wine Down. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
And thank you for joining us on this week's very special episode of the Popcorn Wine Down Awards, the first annual. Yay! So I'm so excited that we are doing our first ever awards show. Did we ever come up with a name for our awards? The Popcorn Whinies? The Popcorns? The Whinies? The
Oh my God, I love the Popcorn Whinies.
Okay, so there it is. The Popcorn Whinies.
On the fly. We just came up with that on the fly.
On the fly. It's something we've been talking about, and there you go. So, welcome to the Popcorn Whinies. Now, 2020, as we know, this has been a year that I like to regard as the shit show. Just whenever you go back and talk about 2020, I'm just going to say, welcome to the shit show. You mean...
And my thing would be welcome to the clusterfuck.
The clusterfuck shit show. So
there we go.
It started off with potential, just going into the new year. But by the time January hit, it was like, damn, some tragic things had already happened. And then you're thinking, okay, it's going to get better. February, we were cautious about the Rona. March, and after March, it just went downhill. So I was surprised, not only by last week's episode, that we were able to come up with a top 10 list of anything, let alone have some of that stuff, a lot of it be positive. But when we were doing the awards, I was thinking this was going to be, I don't know, I thought it was going to be hard because I didn't realize how much actually good stuff came out this year, because this year has seemed like a decade all in itself. So 2020 has been the longest year ever.
It's been long.
And our list of awards made me go back and just kind of think about all the things that came out in 2020. And I like this because it made us focus on more of the positive things that happened this year. So, let's get this show on the road. Our first Popcorn Whiny is going to be, I think we're just going to start with the big one. What was your favorite album of 2020?
Okay, so my favorite album, I'm guessing it's going to surprise some people, seeing as how we're obsessed with a certain group, but they actually did not get chosen. My favorite album is going to go to Zico, Random Box. I love Zico. He's one of my favorite artists ever since I discovered him, and now, of course, he's out of commission for 3 years, but Random Box was great he sings, he raps, like he's so versatile. So that is my favorite album of 2020.
Wow, Zico, Random Box. I am surprised by that.
Did you think it was going to be BTS?
I did not think it was going to be BTS. I kind of know you a little bit better than that. I thought maybe you were going to go G7 or someone else, but I didn't think it. I honestly am not surprised that it wasn't BTS.
Okay.
My favorite album, I don't know. I narrowed it down to 3 by the time I get to...
What is your 3?
So my 3 were B by BTS. I love it. It's still on my playlist. I just listened to it today.
What's the second one?
Folklore, Taylor Swift. It was a surprise. I love it. And my third one is It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kehlani. And that was just me picking this list on the fly because it's hard for me to choose music, and so
well, you can't be on the committee then, Eddie. You can't be on the committee.
I know. It's hard.
You're trying to get 3 awards out. Remember, there is only ever one winner, and the rest of them are losers.
Well, I haven't narrowed it down yet. Those are my 3 finalists for top album. Okay, so
hopefully by the time we publish this on the popcornwinedown.com, she has chosen a best album.
I will have chosen a best album. So you cannot have an album without songs. What is your song of the year?
Okay, so I'm just gonna do 2 awards in one right now. Okay. I should have done the first 3 as one whole thing, because Zico wins those awards. So my favorite new artist that I discovered in 2020 was Zico, and like I said before, he's very versatile. I just love him. Like, he can rap, he can sing, he can dance, and he's an amazing performer. And then my song of the year that I just love and I listened to nonstop all summer was the song that's called Summer Hate by Zico, featuring Rain. And I love that song. And when I was looking at my top songs on Spotify, that was the number 1 song. So I definitely did play that song repeatedly over and over again. It beat every BTS song, every GOT7 song, any other songs. Nobody beats Zico. So goes to Zico.
All right. Yeah. So cool.
What's yours?
Why you say it like that? Why you?
Because I feel like you didn't choose again, and we're gonna have some finalists again. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that you have narrowed it down to just 1 song and 1 artist. Surprise me.
That hurts. That cut deep. So for song, just because I felt like you were going to have something to say, Shade Monster. RM might be Rap Monster. You're the Shade Monster.
Oh my God.
So I chose Life Goes On just because it was on at the time and I love the song. Again, by the time this is actually published, don't think that might be my number 1 song. It might not. I do love the song. And it's something that I'll just sing in my head. And I love the message of the song. And really, it, just kind of going back to what I said earlier about this year seeming like it's been 10 years rolled into one. But life does go on. Here we are, about 2 weeks out from the new year. So
I will say it was on my list. I had actually written it down. And then when I really, I was just wait, hold up. Am I just being biased because I just absolutely, absolutely love that album? And when I really sat down and I really thought about it, and I was just what song did I just play on repeat? I love Life Goes On, but I realized that Zico had me because he's just so awesome. So, but that song was on my list though.
Yeah, it's on my list. Like I said, anybody listening, it might not be my number 1 song. I wouldn't bet on it, but it was the song that was on at the time when I was doing this. So I was yeah, okay. And like I said, I knew you were going to have something to say if I chose more than 1 song. Now, because I did choose more than 1 artist.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I couldn't narrow it down. And
how can you not? Okay, tell me the artist, and then I'm going to give my opinion. Go ahead.
Okay, and these are just the ones I came up off the top of my head, and I didn't go too far into it because I still would not be able to narrow it down. There's so many great artists I discovered this year. On my Spotify thing, it said I listened to over 700 different genres. I guess, the genres, then the subgenres and all that kind of stuff. So I love music, and but anyway. B. Miller, I love her. She is amazing. Max, discovered him this year. He basically listening to Sugar's mixtape, and I love him. I went back and I listened to everything he's ever put out, and I am a huge fan. Of course, my boys from G7, GOT7, and one of my favorite Korean artists is Dean. Love Dean. He does not put out nearly enough music, but I love him. and I find myself just going back and listening to all his stuff, everything he's released in playlist and all of that. So those are some of my favorite new artists discovered. What?
Okay, moving on to favorite live performance.
I don't know why.
I am just gonna let you go on that because, like, yeah.
Thank you for letting me.
I'll be the one person that's narrowed down her list to like her number one.
Thank you for letting me do me, letting me be me.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
Favorite live performance or late night performance?
Let's go live performance first. What was your favorite live performance?
Ooh, my favorite live performance.
I feel like I should go first for everything, seeing as how I just have one, and then you got to go into a whole,
Okay, we'll go.
No. You've already started talking. Go for it.
Okay, my favorite live performance is I can't choose one, so I'm just gonna say why? I feel like if I were a lesser person, if I had a complex, I would be offended. Like if I really.
No, you good. I'm only laughing because I knew it was coming, but so I'm not surprised. But I am excited to hear who is on your list. So
I feel like if I was a person who gave fucks, I would be hurt. But
But you get no fucks, so we good.
Yeah. Okay. Every time they performed, I loved them, and they did it from their tennis court a lot. Chloe and Hallie, and I can't just pick one from them. They slayed every time they performed. So go back and just check out their quarantine performances. They killed it. And my favorite live performance, I think I'm going to have to choose one from, of course, my boys. BTS Home on Jimmy Fallon. On BTS Week from Jimmy Fallon. I loved that performance. Like,
that wasn't live.
It was supposed to be. So none of the performances were live technically because they taped them all. So there you go.
Well, I am going to call you a liar because my favorite live performance was Map of the Soul 1, which they actually did live. And I loved Ego by J-Hope. I loved My Time by JK. I loved Jimin's Filter. Bulletproof when they did that one. Spring Day, because that's my favorite song they've ever done. But just the whole concert, I loved it. Both nights, because we paid for both nights. I loved it. So I put that down as the award for favorite live performance is BTS Map of the Soul 1.
I co-sign on that. I wasn't thinking concert of live, but yeah, now that you say that, I absolutely co-sign on that one. Okay, cool. So we've narrowed it down to one. See, I need you to brainstorm my list with me. Okay. So next we have favorite late night performance.
We discussed this before. I think we talked about it in our top 10 list, but I will say BTS, James Corden. Okay, so here's my thing. So it's two of them, but I did choose one. But I want to say the one video that I watched that really like it just sealed the deal on me becoming a fan was what was it? Not the concert, performance at home.
Mm-hmm.
When he did that, and our lovely V came in his pajamas, and his flippity floppity.
It was a quarantine mood.
Yeah, like I love that. Like that was the first time that I actually saw how amazing they were, and I actually paid attention to them. I'd seen them before, but I actually paid attention to them was that. Because even though it was chill and they were in their practice room, they still gave a great performance. But my absolute favorite would have to be when they were on James Corden again, when they performed Dynamite and then Life Goes On. I loved it. It was my favorite performance for Life Goes On. and it was one of my favorite performances for Dynamite. Well, until what was the one with J-Hope doing the
dance break?
Yeah.
I think that was Mom. Was that the MMAs or Mamas? No, that was the MMAs.
Okay, yeah. So until the MMAs, when they did the dance break for Dynamite, which I just love, that just killed every other Dynamite performance. That was my favorite performance that they did on James Corden. So James Corden, both times.
But did you just have more than one performance?
No, because I chose the recent one. But I just said what opened my eyes to them was the first one.
I think you had two, but that's okay. Mm-mm. I think you.
I'm not joining that club. I think
you broke the rules. Well, I will say I had 3 performances, but they were all BTS, so they fall under that just one. Right. Okay, she's ignoring me. So I will go on with my list of favorite late night performances by BTS. Of course, it was on in Grand Central Station. Loved it, and I still go back and I watch it. I love it. Then, of course, it was the late night quarantine from home when they just did, and I'm with you. That was probably the first time that I truly paid attention. And I love watching their stripped down, like, practice videos like that, because you can see all the detail that goes into the performance without everything else at the performance. So, but I did love that. And like I said, V was a quarantine mood. And that's the first time I really paid attention and started learning who they were and all that kind of stuff. So, and then I would have to also choose the performance. Since I already chose Home from Fallon, I will go back with Corden, and I will agree with you on their recent performance of Life Goes On and Dynamite, James Corden. So there. But it counts as just one because they're all BTS, right?
No. But it's still good choices that you made for the finalists.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna say that I think out of your list, On would probably be like the number one because it was a great performance. I feel like you should make that the number one who wins the award for favorite late night performance.
Oh, thank you. She's trying to help me narrow down my list.
Yes.
She's trying to say I'm scattered brain. Okay, so next we have, is this really a question? Favorite K-pop group and artist. Who did you choose? I did just choose one though. Spoiler alert.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me your one.
Bang Bang Soyadon, of course.
Oh, why? Oh, don't answer why.
Like, because it's just BTS. I love BTS, but I have other people that I like, but I don't consider them K-pop as far as like just different groups, like, you know, in the different genres. But since this was specifically K-pop group of artists, it was BTS.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Okay, so I feel like I should have came up with a category on like best K-pop personalities because somebody else would have won that award. But for best group, like my favorite K-pop group, of course, is going to be BTS. I mean, that's the group that got me into the whole K-pop, K-drama rabbit hole that I'm currently still in. Would be BTS. But I do want to say, if I was to talk about like K-pop personalities and like how they are with each other, I would pick GOT7. I love how GOT7 is with each other, especially when they do interviews, because they're just ridiculous. Like, they never realize that they're on camera with how they act. So I love them. But BTS wins for that category, if I have to choose one.
And favorite BTS moment of 2020, what was yours?
Once again, I'm gonna go with the big concert and say Map of the Soul won. I like the fact that they pulled it off 2 nights, and just the production, the performances, singing actual live, like it was a live online concert. Their reaction to seeing their fans all over, Jimin crying when he realized that Army was on the screens, and it was just so many of them like watching. That would be my favorite BTS moment of 2020.
I would have to agree. That's one of mine.
She said one of hers, y'all.
Okay, so that is one of mine. And you could see the changes and the improvements that they made from night 1 to night 2, so I choose the concert as well. But my other favorite BTS moment was a series of moments, and I would have to give that to In the Soup. I loved In the Soup. It was funny, and so that was my other favorite BTS moment, was In the Soup. Okay, so I think that does it for music.
And that was the first part of our Popcorn Whiny Awards. Tune in tomorrow when we talk about Best in Movies and Television. Discover more in movies, TV, and music at thepopcornwinedown.com.